What up, Fluffbutts? Foxy here for another episode of Faux Talks with my guest today, Foxy Malone. Hey, Foxy.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
For those of you who don't know, Foxy Malone is the con-chair of FurDU and has been for how long?
5 years now.
5 years. Alright, so we'll get into a bit more of that soon. The topic of today's episode is about conventions, so I feel Foxy is a great resource for that. But first of all, let's learn a bit more about Foxy. Tell us about yourself, Foxy.
Oh, well, like what? I first got into the fandom in 1999.
What got you into the fandom?
Webcomics, really. There was a webcomic called Dan and Mab's Awesome Adventures, which is still around. And they mentioned a chat called Furcadia. Okay. Furcadia was a 3D graphical chat.
What does that mean? A 3D graphical chat?
Well, it was sort of
it
was sort of a precursor to things like Second Life.
Okay.
People might know Club Penguin, Habbo Hotel.
I know Club Penguin.
Similar sort of thing. You had a character. In the day, there was 5 to choose from: cat, dog, horse, rabbit, and then they brought other stuff in, and it was a worldwide thing. Everyone in the world. And the very first person I actually met was a Brisbane furry called Misty Striker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. So that was like back, what, 22 years ago now?
Yeah, 22 years ago.
Oh, Jesus. How does time fly like that? So, do you think that Furcadia, like, created a lot of furries back in the day? Was it like a stepping stone into the fandom?
Yeah, I think so. The ages range from young, mostly young. I think it was 13 upwards to 19, 20 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, so when you first came in the fandom, what was it that attracted you about it?
The people, and there was, you talk to the people and you had something in common straight away, talking about animals, because I remember drawing animals in that a lot when I was a kid, and I loved horses, like most little girls do, and unicorns. I got a collection over there.
Oh, wow, you do too.
So
I thought they were Nikita's.
No, they're mine. And, and it's just a step from drawing animals to drawing human-like animals.
Yeah.
And then you find the fandom, you're like, here's a whole bunch of people who like this stuff too.
And I mentioned Nikita a second ago. Nikita is your husband?
Yes.
And did you guys meet through the fandom?
We did. We met online back when IRC was still the big thing.
Yeah.
I met him on there and we chatted and talked, and I told him how old I was at the time, so he would be aware of the age difference between us, and he was cool with that.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Well, as long as, everyone's over, 18, 21, so there's no issues there. Right. It's just it's so good to see the fandom can, create those kind of relationships and last a lifetime and really bring you together. So, again, good to see. Hi, Nikita. He's sitting off camera now. I mentioned Nikita before because I saw all the unicorns and stuff in the cabinet, and Nikita is a unicorn character. Yeah. What character are you, Foxy? Now, I know your name is Foxy, but that's where it stops, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm a snow leopard now. When I first joined the fandom, we'll say, I was a horse.
Yeah.
Purple horse. For some reason, I'm not sure why purple, but I was a purple horse. And then when I joined Furcadia, you can have many characters, and I chose a Arctic fox for my first character in Furcadia, which hence the name.
You were a fox at some point. That's when you picked the name Foxy.
That's right.
And so why did you? So you obviously liked foxes at the time. Yes. Or was it just the best of you could pick from?
I liked Arctic foxes, but I didn't feel like a fox, I guess you could say. It was more cat.
Why did you feel like a fox?
I don't know. I know.
So I'm a
fox. At the time, there was the connotation with foxes.
There still is.
Yeah, still is. And I thought, that's not me. So I was going to be clouded leopard, and then I saw snow leopards, and I saw that tail, and I thought, that's mine.
Snaps are gorgeous, and their tails. I love when they they bite their own tail.
Yep.
Like it's their mother.
Yeah.
They do that when they're kids, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Snow leopards in the wild.
Yep.
They hang onto their mother's tail. But yeah, so, and you haven't got a suit. You've been in the fandom for 22 years, and you haven't got a suit yet.
No, I have a tail, and I had some ears, and I did have a collar back when collars were the thing, but not anymore.
Well, collars still are the thing, but
not for general furries.
So there you go, guys. So Foxy Malone, so one of the most well-known furries in Australia, runs Australia's biggest fur con, FurDU. hasn't got a suit yet. You don't need a suit to be big in this fandom. You just have to really express yourself and enjoy yourself and share that love for the same genre.
That's right. You don't need a suit to be a furry.
So, anyway, let's moving on. So FurDU itself, it started, 11 years ago now?
Yeah, 2010 was the first one.
Yep, and did you go to that one?
Yes, I was at that one.
Have you been to every FurDU?
Yes, every one.
Wow.
I think the third one we were sort of on and off because we had home issues, so we had to drive to the Gold Coast every day, so that was a bit of a pain.
Still worth it though, yeah?
Yeah, it was worth it.
And when did you decide, when did you decide to step up and try and become the con chair?
Oh, that was just after Toontown.
Uh-huh.
Larry Lynx was the con chair for that one. He joined the team as PR. I was on Dealer's Den at the time, but he didn't want to do con chair after that one because he was in university.
Right.
So he didn't have the time. So I nominated for it, and the other guys in the committee voted for me.
So you were a volunteer that time,
Yeah, I was a volunteer to start with for the first 3 years. I think I was a volunteer, and then when we got big enough to have an actual Dealer's Den and volunteers, I stepped up to help do that so that Drake and Oz could concentrate on running other stuff.
Yeah. So it started off obviously very small. Like how many attendees were the first year of FurDU?
90.
90.
Yep.
As opposed to last year we capped out, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Oh, sorry, not last year, 2019.
Yeah, 2019. We almost hit 1,000, I think.
And we sold out.
Yep.
For this year.
Yeah, we were on track to have 1,000 this year as well.
And that's the hard cap, isn't it? Because we can't allow more than that.
No, we can't have more than that in the mantra.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So that's why there are ticket limits, guys. So, keep an eye out after FurDU. They'll release tickets for next year. Hopefully there's no restrictions next year. So make sure you jump on as soon as possible because there are limited numbers.
Yes.
And also, if you check ahead, but FurDU booking the hotel, usually there's no deposit. So it costs nothing to call up and just book a hotel room. And then if you can't go later, just cancel then.
Yep.
But other than that, FurDU, what does it take to run a convention?
Well, a convention, we start planning before the... we've already planned for next year, of course.
Haven't you planned like a few years ahead?
No, we've got the themes for 5 years.
Any ideas, any insights as to what they're going to be? Or are they secret?
No, well, we put a poll up on the website. We had Pirates is next year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can't remember the order they're in, but we've got retro gaming, 80s, and I can't remember the other one. Space, that's right. We're going for space.
Space be cool.
Yes.
And this year's theme is Mad Scientist.
Mad Science, yes. Sort of fits in well with pandemic and everything.
Which I get to be guest of honor for.
Yes,
Thank you, Foxy.
You're welcome.
And with my guest from last episode, Sky. So keep an eye out for us if you're coming to FurDU. Sadly, this year, you can't sell any more Regos, can you?
No, we had to cap at... we're only allowed 500 per level, 500 overall.
And we have more than that, don't we?
We have about 700 at the moment.
How are you going to get that down? Like, what's the plan for that?
The plan, we have the clickers to count people in and out.
Right.
So that we'll have people on both levels counting people in and out of the Dealer's Den as well.
Yep.
So once we reach the 250, no one's in until someone comes out. We're also going to have screens outside the room so that people can watch what's in the rooms outside because we can't put 250 people in a room.
Yep.
So that should be fun.
Is that going to affect my world record attempt?
It shouldn't.
Because I need nearly 200 people in that room.
Yeah, well, we won't have... There's nothing going on in the other room, so we should be able to get that many people in. Hopefully the restrictions will be more relaxed by the time May rocks around.
And yeah, I certainly hope so too. It's still 2 months away, isn't it?
Yeah,
2 months. Almost the day till FurDU, isn't it?
Yep, that's right. And I don't think we've had any outbreaks recently.
Knock on wood.
Yep.
But so yeah, my world record attempt, I'll do a video on that a bit later, but yeah, I need a lot of people to come in. I've officially recognised by Guinness as an attempt, and if we succeed, we will be in the Guinness Book of Records. FurDU will be in the Guinness Book of Records, and I hope to start something that other FurCons can do as well. Have a lot of fun, get it out there. Okay, so when it comes down to into the nitty gritty of running a con,
yep.
How many staff and volunteers do you have to run a con of this size?
Well, the board, because we're a legal registered not-for-profit,
Uh-huh.
we have to have a board of 7.
Okay.
That is the 3 managing people, which is me, Riston and Larry, which is treasurer and secretary.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a board of 5. We've got a board of 5 at the moment. We've got Boxer doing AV, Nikita's doing logistics, Foxdale and Taboo are both doing theming and general
Yep.
suiting, I think. And Knight runs the dealer's den.
Nice.
Knight, you haven't seen him much.
Okay.
He lives on North Side.
All right.
And we have currently 30 volunteers, I think. We lost a couple this year because they can't come across from New Zealand.
Yeah.
So we usually sit around 40, 50 volunteers.
Yep.
Because they work in shifts so that they get to have fun as well.
Yep. And if for those of you interested, if you want to volunteer, first of all, how do you request to become a volunteer? And secondly, what kind of benefits do you get for being a volunteer?
Well, we usually, if we need volunteers, because our volunteers tend to be the same every year, we'll put a form up on the site and we'll ask for experience.
Which website is that? Is it just FurDU.com?
Yeah, FurDU.com.au.
Yep.
Or on the Facebook. And we'll
I'll
put it on
links,
Twitter as
I'll
well.
leave links down below, guys.
So on all those sites, we'll put up a form, and you fill out the form, say if you've got experience. AV is the one where we want people who have experience,
Yeah,
because
obviously.
it's very technical. We have the security guards, but we don't call them security because we can't.
What are they called?
It's basically just crowd control. I think we decided on wardens this year. We wanted to go paw patrol, but that's
can't
illegal.
really do that.
We can't do that. We have
There's a pun in there somewhere you can find.
yeah.
I'm sure.
We have a couple of dealers' den helpers, which we don't have this year, I don't think, at the moment. The panel helpers, who make sure the room's all set up again and tidy and lost and found. And the con-ops people who sit in con-ops. And people think they don't do much in there because a lot of people want to join con-ops because they think they're just sitting behind a desk.
And what do they do then? Let's blow that idea out of the water. What do they do in con-ops?
Con-ops, our first aid is located there, which is Cypher.
First aid, yeah.
Yep. And all our security guards are registered first aiders as well. So any of the volunteers can help you. We have Ace, who is our head in con-ops. And he's there if you need help with anything like... where is this? Where is that? I lost mud. I lost this. I lost that. Because we have lost and found in there.
Yeah.
We have do the regos in there. It's just basically someone in there who can help you all during the con.
Like what's the word? A concierge kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
sort of thing. Yep.
But if no one loses anything, if no one needs any help, if everyone knows what's going on at the con, they do just kind of sit there then.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. So if you help out your local con ops person and just know the con and don't need help. Give them a nice break. Okay, so there's a lot of opportunities there to volunteer.
Yep.
All that kind of stuff. If you do volunteer? Obviously you apply and then you get selected. What benefits do you get?
If for the first year you volunteer, because we don't know you, and we have had volunteers who volunteer just to get a free rego,
yep.
and then we don't see them for the rest of the con. So
I can see that happening.
So we give, if they volunteer and they're good and we want to keep them, then they get free registration for the following year. So we've had volunteers, long-term volunteers who have never paid rego.
Except for the first year.
Except for the first year, yep. They usually get a FurDU shirt which says Roo Crew on it, or
Yep.
Do Crew, I mean.
Yep.
People want those shirts, but they can't have them unless they're a volunteer.
Yep. Exclusive.
At the end of the con, if there's stuff left over, they get first dibs at it.
Oh, that's cool.
So they can have all that. That's pretty much, and they get a discount if they want to do super sponsor or just sponsor.
All right, well, there you go. So if you want to volunteer, guys, there are links down below. There's some more information about that. And going into other aspects of running a convention or having a convention, like FurDU specifically, how much does it kind of, like, you obviously prep years in advance, or at least 12 months in advance for the next year's con.
Yes.
How hard is it to arrange with a hotel or a location, finding one? How much does it cost to actually lock it down? I know FurDU is not for profit, so obviously everything goes back into itself.
Yeah, everything goes back in.
So if it's thing you can't say, by all means, just say you can't really disclose that information. But you know, just so people can understand that if you want to start your own con kind of thing, like what exactly has to go into it?
Well, you have to find a venue that wants you for a start. There are some venues who have heard the bad press about furries and believe it, and they don't want you in there. Mantra thinks we're great because
Thanks, Rainforest.
Mantra thinks we're great because we bring in people, fill up the hotel. The surrounding businesses think we're great because business. But we usually, what they want is a deposit straight up. That's for our hotel. Some hotels want it all up front. I don't know. Mantra, we paid in 3 lots.
Right.
We have the first deposit to hold it, and then 2 more deposits about a month apart just before the con.
Okay.
We've gone from the 1 floor to 2 floors in Mantra.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good, and because we pay more, we get the free breakfast now and all that. But you've got to have the relationship with the hotel before you get offered all that things.
Are they still doing the breakfast this year?
I've been told that they were doing bagged breakfasts before this. The event manager at the hotel has told me that those restrictions should be lifted by April.
Oh, please.
And it should be back to a buffet.
Oh,
but
please.
if not, it'll still be the free breakfast, but you'll have to order it in advance, I believe.
Well, it's still good to have something, but that breakfast buffet it gets us out of bed in the morning, honestly.
Yeah, it gets me through to dinner.
If you haven't been to FurDU, make sure you get the breakfast. It is pretty awesome, supplied by the hotel. You just got to get there before they close at 10, don't they?
Yeah, got to get up early.
So it gets you out of bed and gets you awake and ready for the day of all the fursuiting and conning at FurDU. It's great. I usually pull a sneaky on this. When I book my own room, I say I have 2 guests because it doesn't cost any extra. So I get 2 breakfasts for 1 person.
Oh, okay.
So I have a spare breakfast, spot that I can give away to someone if they need it or whatnot. Because the hotel fills up. Not everyone can actually stay in the hotel.
That's right.
So if you have that extra breakfast, find a mate of yours who wasn't lucky enough to get the hotel room and just invite them along. Just say, yeah, we're together in this room. Go and get some brekkie, and it's great morning. Great way to wake up at FurDU. And it's one of your 2 meals of the day, mandatory meals of the day.
That's right.
So if anyone coming to the we didn't cover. Did you want to disclose how much the deposits are?
We just pay $2,000 for the first deposit.
$2,000.
Yep, and then 2 more of I don't know exactly what it is, but about 15 and 15, I think. So it could be more or less than that. So that is quite cheap for the Gold Coast.
Quite cheap. So you're looking around to book a hotel like the Mantra for a FurDU level event, you're looking at around $35,000 just for a weekend. Yeah,
we looked at the Star Casino. Guess how much they want for their rooms?
That'd be gorgeous, though. I love that place.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I'm going to have to imagine at least, I'm going to say around 100,000.
140.
140,000 for the Star. We
could do it, but we'd have to sell out, and all our money would just go to pay for that. We wouldn't be able to have any perks or anything like that. It'd just be for the rooms.
So with the only income that FurDU has is the registrations, isn't it?
That's right.
That's where you recoup that money. Make a little bit of extra money that obviously not-for-profit goes back into the con. Yes. So any extra money you guys make, what does that go towards?
Any extra, you mean like leftover?
Yeah. So
leftover means when we had our 10-year celebration, that means we could do better goodies.
Okay.
So it all goes back into the con. We were lucky because we had that buffer to carry us over the COVID year.
Yeah.
So even though we've had to refund a lot of people, we still have a nice little buffer to keep us out of trouble. And we just spend that, like, we've got this much money, we can buy this things for the attendees.
Yep.
Yeah. So it all goes back in eventually.
Do those nice things. I know that Boxer, the AV tech for FurDU, I know that he's used a bit of that extra money.
He spent a bit, yes.
For gear for FurDU.
Yeah, we were lucky because the hire company we hired our gear from, they went broke because of COVID, unfortunately.
That sucks.
And they offered to sell us the gear we were going to hire.
Oh, that's good.
At a good price. So we went, go for it.
So now FurDU owns that, and now, instead of having a yearly expense, you now own it. So that yearly expense now gets put back into the overflow.
That's right.
For better things for future cons.
And better hotels eventually in the future, if we can find one.
Oh, are there bigger hotels to move to at the Gold Coast?
No.
No.
Not on Surfers Paradise.
Okay.
There is Twin Towns up the other end, but that's at Coolangatta, and that's on the other side of the border.
Yes.
Yes. So it wouldn't be a Queensland con anymore.
No,
So,
we can't have that. Your FurDU's got to stay Queensland.
Queensland, yes.
Stay true to our heart. It's our con. I mean, it's like the border's right there, but it's still our con.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dilemma that we can't find anywhere bigger. The convention centre, I think, would end up being the same as Star Casino, as in very expensive.
And there's no hotel there.
There's no hotel attached to it.
Yeah.
And you'd have to walk across the highway.
Yeah. That's, so, unfortunately, Australia, build bigger hotels and keep them at a reasonable price, please.
Yes.
Please, we beg you. Just for us.
Yep.
So, at a con, running cons, what's the biggest kind of issue you've had to deal with? Whether it's with volunteers not turning up or attendees just subverting rules and you have to like crack the whip?
Yep. People seem to like throwing things off the balconies for some reason.
That is a regular story.
Yep, we've had 4 incidents of that, and one that probably was not FurDU attendees, because at that time there was other people in the hotel. I think that was bottles thrown from the balcony into the pool.
Wow, okay.
So I'm pretty sure that wasn't any of our attendees.
Yeah. Well, glass bottles or?
Oh, glass bottles,
oh,
yeah.
God.
So I think they've pegged them into the pool, so that was dangerous for anybody.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah.
The glass inside water, it's almost invisible.
Yeah, that's right. That was a few years ago, I think. But we're almost 99% sure it was nobody from our people.
Well, I hope not.
I think.
What other things have been thrown off balconies?
Have been thrown off. We've had eggs, milk, the ingredients for a cake, basically, were thrown off a balcony.
Instead of just throwing the cake, here, make a cake.
Yep.
And
somebody took offence to a Bible and threw that off the balcony.
Those Gideon Bibles that they have in the drawers.
Yep. Underwear, for some reason. I'm not too sure about that. And, of course, the infamous incident.
Yes, well, I may bleep that, so just to be safe. So if you know the story about that one, you know the story.
Yep. It wasn't so much thrown as fell.
Yeah, but let's just not throw things off balconies, guys.
Don't do that.
That's the kind of things that can get you a bad rep with the hotel.
Yep.
And get you kicked out.
And it's very dangerous too. Even an ice cube thrown from a few stories up onto someone can really hurt.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So, have we ever been close to doing something that has gotten us kicked out? I mean, I know there's all these rumors and stories about, someone put like bubble bath in the spa.
Yeah, well, that wasn't a rumor. That happened.
That happened? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that happened. There's pictures and video of it, and we know who did it.
Was it a furry?
Yeah, it was furries. It was no doubt about that. It was furries.
Were they banned?
No.
What does it take to get banned?
Because even though we know who it was, we're not 100% sure.
Right.
But we know who it was, and we're watching them. We're watching you. Yeah. I did talk to the hotel manager about that, and they said the bronies were worse.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, okay.
Oh,
because there was a BronyCon there one year as well.
Any other kind of con horror stories that you've had either as an attendee or running FurDU?
There was the Toontown year where for some reason we didn't have Jet doing AV, and we...
How dare you?
We basically arranged for AV from the hotel, and we got a mixing board that we're pretty sure came from the 80s, and we had nobody to run it.
Right.
So Larry thought that the AV fee we paid was for AV and someone to run it, but apparently not. So we had to go, and I think Jet was there at that time, so we went and grabbed him and said, hey, do you want to do AV? And he zoomed home and got all his gear and came back, so that was good. Yep.
Jet's a good
He's
man.
good at what he does. And we've had somebody at the hotel who was punched by a stranger. That was...
Was that when they were walking down on the Esplanade?
Oh, that was a different one.
Okay.
Someone was mugged on the Esplanade.
Yeah.
But they weren't dressed in as fursuit or anything. The one who was dressed... they were outside the hotel in their suit, and some guy jumped out of a car and said, hey, I want a picture with you, got the picture, and then punched him, jumped in the car and zoomed off.
What the hell?
So we are not sure. It was a deliberate action.
Obviously.
Yeah, so
that's terrible.
It was. We got a nice picture of them.
What is wrong with people to think that they can just go and assault someone like that? I mean, that is assault. You could
It is, yes.
take them to the police.
We did take it to the police. Unfortunately, as the police told us, because this fella doesn't have a record of any sort, they couldn't find him. It was just a
that's terrible.
random attack.
There you go, guys. Always be safe. Always, never go first sitting alone.
Mm-hmm.
And, even when you are in a group, still just be careful.
Yep.
It's just, we want everyone to be safe. This is a fun, inclusive fandom. And we get a bum rap from the public because people just think we're just crazy. I don't even know a word to describe it. Just whatever.
Yeah.
And they think it's okay to assault us, to damage our suits that cost thousands of dollars, and they think it's funny. I mean, it's not cool. I hope we can turn that around one day, and get some actually people out there doing some good reporting about just us expressing ourselves as who we are. But we're still human beings who deserve respect.
Yep. Everyone
does. We treat everyone with respect. All we want is that in return. What about yourself? What's the crazy thing you've done at a convention?
The crazy thing I've done, I think it was the second, could have been the first, when we were back at the Vibe Hotel.
I don't even know.
Oh, that was further down the road.
I wasn't a furry back then.
I think.
So
I was just a plain old volunteer back then. So I got super drunk.
Uh-huh.
I was carrying around a 2-litre bottle of vodka and orange, and when I ran out of orange juice, I just filled it up with apple juice because by then I was so drunk I didn't know.
Oh,
and Atpor took a great. I've had a photo take. Atpor took a great photo, which I've had as my profile picture on Facebook for years. It's one of the best photos I've ever had, and I was so drunk, so drunk.
If I can get a copy of that photo, I'll put it up on screen.
Okay. Yep. It's still on my Facebook.
So you can see what it was like.
Yep.
So I never kind of picture. You've always been using Sky's words, so don't get mad at me. I've always seen you as the grandmother of the Queensland fandom, at least.
Yeah, there are other older furries than me.
But hey, it's the Sky's words.
Yeah, that's fine.
I heard you send her a nice little message about that after you watched the last episode.
Yep.
So just picturing you being off your face drunk is amusing.
Yeah, well, I'm usually too busy at the cons to do that, but actually this year's going to be different because I've made the other board members share the load.
Good.
So I get to get off and have some fun. Probably won't get blind drunk again, but.
Oh, come on, we got to make it happen, guys. We got to make it happen. If you see Foxy out on the floor, offer her a drink. Buy her a drink, guys. She's done so much hard work; she deserves it. This is the first time we've ever had a sit down chat. So it's been. Oh, that's time to reset the camera. 1 second. We have a new guest now. I had to just restart the camera. It's a half-hour timer. So what's the cat's name?
Nacho. He came from the Pound. That was his Pound name, and we kept it.
How long ago was that?
How old was he when we got him? He was a kitten. I mean, he was probably about 10 years ago, I guess.
Aw, yeah. You had a good life here, have you? He's too free chill.
He's old man cat now. He's purring.
Aww. I hope that comes through in the microphone. It should. It should. Well, thank you for being another special guest, Nacho. You're so soft. What were we talking about?
Buy me drinks.
Getting Foxy some drinks. So, do you think you'll be con chair for a while into the future yet, or you love doing what you do?
Yeah, I like doing it. We haven't had anyone yet who's really. I know that none of the current board really wants to be the chair.
They see how hard you work and how little you get to drink.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I would look for someone who'd want to be interested in it, and we'd mentor them up. And I mean, the con chair is the figurehead when it comes down to it. I mean, they don't even have to do any of the work, really. Yeah. Just be the figurehead.
So if you're out there and curious about it, start applying to be a volunteer, because I'm guessing that's how you kind of get your foot in the door.
Way up.
And work your way up. So that's what I was saying. This our first chance I've gotten to sit down and have a chat with you one-on-one. I've always honestly been a bit too afraid to come and approach you. You're always the big scary Foxy.
Yeah, I get that.
In charge of FurDU.
I don't know why people think I'm scary. I don't know.
Well, I'll buy you a drink at FurDU, okay? And
cool.
We'll have just a chill off camera and just have a bit of a laugh, enjoy ourselves.
Yep.
Sorry, I was love the cat. Have you had to ban many people?
We've banned 2 people.
And what is a bannable offence, if I can ask?
A bannable offence, well, the first person who got banned, he was exposing himself in the hotel hallways and filming it.
That would do it.
He was climbing from balcony to balcony and filming it.
That's,
and he posted it
dangerous.
online. So there was, it's very dangerous. You fall, you're dead. The second person, he was basically creating a major nuisance of himself. He was getting aggressive. He threatened one of our staff at the time, and I had to go and throw him out.
Yeah.
Which he did not. I had to take 2 security guards with me as backup, and he got thrown out. He only got a year ban though, and he's never actually been back. So
okay,
it's all right.
Well, it's just, again, everyone out there who's watching, please just enjoy the convention, have fun, but don't get us in trouble and don't get yourself banned, because you'll miss out on all the future times. So just be sensible, keep it to your room. Don't put bubble bath in the spa, because if that person was 100% like, proof like it was them, they'd be gone, right?
They'd be gone. Yep.
They'd be gone.
They'd be gone. We've got the new spas this year. The spa deck. Yeah.
Are they going to be done by May?
They're done. They're done. They're done.
We were there.
The spas.
We were there like a couple of weeks back, and we still couldn't get access to level 4.
Well, Damon's put pictures up of him in them, so he was there on the weekend.
I can't wait.
Our spas. We don't have a pool anymore.
So there's no pool there.
No pool anymore.
It's a big bar now, isn't it?
It's going to be. It doesn't belong to Mantra anymore. Some other company's taken it over as some beach club.
Really?
Thing. It's going to have a movie screen and a pool, and it's going to have a bar. So it's interesting, but it's not for us because it's not attached to Mantra. So if you can check it out, I guess. I don't think that's open yet.
Yeah.
But the spa deck definitely is.
Okay.
And there's 4 spas there.
Nice. Let's treat them with respect, guys. They're brand new and
they're easier to see from the rooms. There's cameras over the top of them. So
don't do anything wrong in those spas. There's always that rumor that stay out of the spa. That's kind of like the ground zero for any kind of con crud that exists.
Yep.
Because they're obviously warm tubs of water.
Oop, he's going.
Oh, bye, kidder. One thing I'd love to do, I just want to suggest this to you. Find someone who works in kind of like, a testing laboratory, especially this year being mad scientist.
Yep.
Take a sample of the spa water before the con starts.
And then after?
And then take a sample at the end of the last day, and just like get some results and just see what the kind of how the water makeup changes.
Yep. I think these ones would be better because they are new and modern, and it looks like they're very flash, so they're not like the old in-ground to the pool type thing. So they're probably cleaner, I would guess, but we could try. We take a sample before and after and see what happens.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
All right, so we'll get to the last topic just before we go on to just going to start wrapping up soon. If someone's going to attend FurDU for the first time this year or next year, because obviously if they're new they can't apply this year. Mm-hmm. Any suggestions of what to expect, what to prepare for, what to bring, what to kind of do?
Right, well, first up, get your registration first, then your hotel, and then your flights. Don't do the flights and hotel first and then think you'll get rego at the door or after, because you might not.
Have you had people come to you and say, "I've got flights, I'm coming from overseas, and the rego sold out. Can I get in because I've spent so much money already?"
Yes. We are getting that this year as well.
But there's no international travel. How are they coming?
Interstate travel, mostly. I've booked and all that. And Qantas won't give them money back at the moment.
Yeah, obviously.
We did look at... we have had people come from overseas. We had someone from Italy a couple of years back who just rocked up and said, "I don't have registration." And we had actually sold out of door registrations, and we ended up giving him one just because he'd come so far.
But don't expect it.
Don't expect it.
All right? Because if you're told no, it's on you. Rego first. You heard it from Foxy herself.
Rego first.
All right.
Make sure, there is checklists that you can get to, if you need medications or anything, make sure you bring those. Make sure you bring enough changes of clothes, especially for your fursuiter, because you'll probably go through a few sets of clothes.
And if you have one, like a howling wind or some kind of fursuit dryer, because you'll need it. Your fursuit gets very wet on... like an hour into suiting, and then every time you want to suit in the future, it's just moist and terrible. So get a fursuit dryer, a fursuit hanger if you can, that like blows air through it. It really helps.
It really does. Go to the first FurCon panel, because we'll give you a short rundown of panels that you can attend, and you can meet other people there who it's their first time as well.
Are you running that this year?
Yep. I'll be running that this year.
Am I your helper for that?
Yep, I've got a couple of. I need a sort of a range of fursuiters, so because with the different visions of different suits, I think Esp is helping because she has a tear duct vision one.
Yeah, they're full on. Like I felt bad for Jet the first time I was volunteer because my vision is really great. I said on my last episode.
Yeah, I saw that. You can see him all around.
Yeah. So my first FurCon.
Yep. That's the main important one to go to. Look at the schedule and what the panels are. If you go to a panel and you don't like it, leave.
Yeah, you
don't have to stay there. You don't have to. Just get up and leave. You probably won't get to see everything because some panels are running at the same time as others. We try to not have too much overlap, but unfortunately we have to. The dealer's den. This year it's going to be limited of how many people can be in there. But
so there'll be a line just waiting for people
probably
to leave.
Yep, they'll be clicked in. You will get in there eventually.
So go and support your local artists and makers and dealers.
Yep, if you're getting commissions, do them on the first day so that they'll be ready on the last day, or you'll get them sent to you. Make sure you bring your swim stuff.
Yes.
So because we've got the beach right there.
The beach.
Bring money for food. Don't spend all your money on commissions and
or alcohol.
Stuff. There is supermarkets where you can buy bread and sandwich stuff because we have fridges in the rooms. The rooms don't have things like toasters or anything like that, so you can't cook in the rooms. Not in the Mantra. There's hotels that you can, but not Mantra. So bring money for food. And don't be afraid to come to ConOps if you're having a problem. If you're having a problem with somebody, come and tell us. Don't tell us a month after the con because we can't do anything about it then.
That's an important one, guys. If someone is causing you some trouble, some drama, like invading your personal space, go and see someone immediately so they can do something about it while you're there. If they hear about it later, they're like, well, what do you want us to do now?
We can't do anything.
Exactly. It's like we can't stop them from coming. You can't get on top of it. Mm-hmm. It's a safe space, okay? Consent is everything, and that includes someone coming up to you and just hugging you without asking.
Yes.
Just because you're in a suit doesn't mean that automatically consent to everything. Always go and ask someone, can I get a photo? Can I have a hug? And make sure they can see you because, like we said before, vision can be quite hard. You come behind a fursuiter, they're not going to know you're there. And if you hug them from behind, they're going to freak out. Yes. They don't know who it is. So even though you might see some people do it, don't get into the trap that's okay to do, okay? You don't know if they're in a relationship, if they're best friends, if they're family, or if it is someone doing the wrong thing. Just don't do it yourself. Ask for permission.
Yep. Know your limits if you're a first-time suitor. I know it's all exciting and you want to wear your suit down to the beach in the fursuit walk, but it gets hot. It's not far, but it can get very hot. Don't be afraid to take your head off.
Even if you're not a first-time suitor, even if you're a veteran fursuiter,
know your limits.
Know your limits. Don't push them. Don't be like, oh, it's okay, we're heading back in a minute. Step aside, take your head off, have a drink of water. It's safety. Cypher will thank you.
Yes, we have volunteers all the way with the fursuit walk, and they will help you if you need it.
Yeah. And we'll start wrapping up now. So usually I like to get, I started with Sky. I'm going to try and make it a thing. Get my guests to suggest any kind of artist or furry creator that you feel that you personally like, that you feel deserves a bit of attention. So I can give them some links down below, show a couple of their images or what they do, like their suit or their YouTube channel or their art or their products. So what kind of furry creator have you found that you personally enjoy?
I like Emu Furs.
Emu Furs. I've never heard of them.
You haven't?
No.
Seriously? She does multi-streams with Toxie and Muddersaw occasionally.
Okay, I don't.
She did our DJ poster for the con book this year.
Oh. Yeah. If you could send me a link to them.
Yep, I can do that.
So they're an artist?
Yes, they're Australian artists.
Awesome. Aussie artists, good to support. Yep. Thank you, Foxy.
We always support our Australians.
So I'll put up some of their pictures there, and I'll have a link down below. Check them out, guys. So obviously approved, the Foxy Malone stamp of approval. They're going to be, obviously, you said, submitted something and have been...
They have a dealer's den table as well.
Yeah, dealer's den tables. Go check them out. And any last bits of advice you want to say before we wrap this up, Foxy?
Have fun when you come to a con. Don't be anxious and stand in a corner. Nobody's going to come towards you. You've got to put yourself out there.
That's a good one. I was going to say, that reminds me, I've been to some cons that have, besides my first con panel, an icebreakers panel, where other people who it's their first time as well can at least meet a few others who is their first time and start that kind of friendship bond between people who have never met. Have you thought about doing that for FurDU?
Yep, Drake did them the first few years. We did sort of a true and false thing. We were going to do a Australian snacks for our overseas guests, visitors, but most of the people who are coming are Australian, so that doesn't really work now. We're going to get them to... We had Lamington chips for them.
Oh, my God. They'd be like old now because they're out of production, aren't they?
Yeah, we got rid of those.
Oh,
they're a bit out of date now, so we had to get rid of those. And we ate the other ones. We had the lamb and mint ones and the sausage on bread ones. And
besides the Fursuit Walk and the My First FurCon panel, what is the other can't-miss event of FurDU?
Can't miss. The charity auction. Support our charities.
Of course. Yeah, charity auction. So charity auction, if you've never been to a con before, it's usually one of the last things that happens at any con. And it's a place, so all the dealers that are closed, they're done. It's a place you can spend the rest of the money you brought down for stuff to bid on things for charity. And what's the charity for this year's FurDU?
The charity we've got Fresh Start Rescue, which is a very small animal rescue. They don't get any government funding.
Oh, wow.
So we...
Are they Queensland based?
They're Queensland based, and we're also going to donate to the Furries, the New South Wales Furries, because of the big fires a couple of years back. Even though
it was 12 months ago, we're still trying to recover from that.
That's right. So we're donating to them as well.
So I'm going to put links to those down below as well. So go check them out. And again, come to the charity auction. And the first time I went to a charity auction, the first time I went, it was like, holy crap, things are going for so much money. Like, it blew my mind, but it is all for charity. Again, FurDU is a non-for-profit organisation, and that 100% goes to charity. And like you said, what was the rescue?
Fresh Start Rescue.
Fresh Start Rescue have zero government funding, so this would be great for them. They look after animals and stuff today.
Yeah, strays, and they rehome. They have fosters, so they don't kill any animals. It's a no-kill thing. They just have foster networks. There's no shelters or anything. They were very grateful for the money we gave them a couple of years back.
Yeah. So let's do it again this year, guys. Anyway, Foxy, thank you so much for your time here today.
You're welcome.
And all you fluff butts out there, thanks for watching all the way to the end. I love your faces, love your fluff butts. And you've seen the whole time that my Patreon scroll across the top. If you want to do that, $1 a month, get your name up there. If you want to give more, by all means, I'm not going to stop you. But other than that, I love you all. Thank you again, Foxy. And right. I'll let you sign off. Okay. You get the last word.
Okay, bye. And we hope to see you at FurDU this year or next year if you can't make it this year.